Hello guys, welcome back. I have you over on Gizmodo, and I have another Furby article for you, and this one was written about a year earlier than the last one. I know, I'm kind of digging up these old ones, but hey, you gotta kind of put up with older articles, because if you've noticed the ones that are out now, they're kind of like being finally discounted in my area, and from people I've spoke to, they've been discounted in some other areas. So it's like Furby's like kind of on the way out again in stores. Like it's being discounted from like around 100 with tax to like around like $40, 40 some dollars. Like it's really close to what the original ones cost, because the original ones retailed back in the 90s for 35. So they're kind of on their way out, I guess, again. But for those of us to love them, they never have an age, and I'm sure that maybe they're clearing the way for another version. Okay, so here we go. The new Furby review, Absolute Horror. This is by Sam Biddle, and we're going to do our standard operating procedure. I'm going to make sure they know that I did this. And you've got to watch that video, because he made a video for this. It's absolutely hilarious. I'll describe it to you after. The Furby materialized on American shelves in 1998 after a brief warp trip from some ethereal hell domain. It drove parents insane. Their children wanted one insanely badly. They sold out insanely quickly. Now, the Furby is back, and it is insanity incarnate. Indeed it is. General Omar N. Bradley commanded American ground forces in Germany during World War II, and he witnessed some of mankind's most debauched savagery. Bradley once said, "If we continue to develop our technology without wisdom or prudence, our servant may prove to be our executioner." Very true. Sure, he was probably talking about the inexorable progress of nuclear proliferation and mechanized warfare, but if he could see the 2012 rebirth of the Furby, he would nod solemnly, gasp, and collapse in a fit of cardiac arrest. The new Furby is grotesque. It is a terror. It is a mile marker on the road to tech dystopia. Kids will love it. There's a new word for you if you don't know it. Dystopia. Look it up. What is it? A neon animatronic gremlin toy designed to be handled regularly by children. If you're familiar with the Furbies of 1990s infamy, it's pretty much the same deal. Only everything has been thrown through the Large Hadron Collider, accelerated to an unconscionable degree of loud, bright, and wiggly. It has LED eyes. A toy for kids has eyes filled with liquid crystal diodes and an unfathomable number of transistors. Aw, are we feeling our age? Who is it for? Children. Lonely children. Neglected children. The children of criminals. Evil babies. Senile. CIA black site prisoners. Skeletons. Hated cats. Madmen. Other robots. The hounds of hell. Why it matters. The Furby, though nightmarish as it is where it's all headed for little kids. There's not much reason to doubt that at some point, not so far away, robots will be the ubiquitous toy for tots. Just as a tablet erodes the appeal of reading paper, children follow the allure of the electron. The sound effect enabled He-Man sword from my boyhood made a stick look like a boring old dumb stick. And dancing, screeching, blinking, screeching hell gadgets like the Furby make a lifeless pound puppy seem like a pathetically poor simulation. Kids don't know much, but they do know what their central nervous systems get the playtime equivalent of a cake stand. The Furby is like an electronic frat party stuffed into a faux fur chassis. The mushy minds of an entire generation will love this thing, and everything like it, until we're all just playing with holograms and battling our siblings with lethal lasers in front of Grandma. Furby 2040 is inevitable, and Furby 2012 is a significant step in this dynasty's evolution. Design. I'm not a kid now, but I was one in 1998, and even then I never found Furby's appearance anything less than horrible and vaguely menacing. Its hair is an unkempt fluorescent tangle of wispy purple and pink, which you'd find clogging a cyborg prostitute shower drain. Sorry, kids. The ears and tail are short of cute, and the eyes, albeit terrifying in their constant swirling and darting, are impressive for LED toy eyes. Using it, you don't really use the Furby so much as you willingly subject yourself to it. The Furby makes almost constant noise in its own native language, Furbish. Chortles, whistles, grunts, whines, moans, screeches, incoherent speaking in biblical tongues. Occasionally it drops in a charming English fragment like, "Me hungry," or "I funny," but these are the exceptions. Furby claims it will learn more English the more you speak to it, but over 2 weeks of attentive Furby sitting, this simply didn't happen. The Furby's erratic mania culminates in its schizophrenic personality changes. It shouts, "I'm changing," squeezes its eyes shut, and then reopens them. Now it's changed. During our testing, it remained in some sort of demonic phase with slit eyes, a raspy voice, and lots of cackles. Once its eyes changed into cows and then cherries, and it appeared intoxicated. Bath salt Furby lasted for a while longer, before suddenly, inexplicably reverting to docile. It seems like constant abuse and neglect takes a toll. To muffle its incessant shrieking, there is no volume knob or on-off switch. It was locked up in a sealed container marked human organs. By the end of testing, Furby seemed permanently deranged. No amount of cuddling, petting, feeding, or murmuring of, "I love you, Furby," made any changes. Its eyes were vacant, even for LEDs, a great vacuum in the hole where its soul should have been. It was behaving like a brat. Now it is once again locked in the organs bag, shoved under a desk. It's funny and charming when it first comes to life. Once every month or so, for a few minutes at a time, it could provide some amusement. Leaving it on someone's desk or doorstep could make a fine prank, because then they have to deal with it, suckers. It also provides a decent simulation of the scarring effects long-term psychological and physical abuse can have on the psyche. At a medical school, it could teach valuable lessons, but it has no place at a child's sleepover. If you're not 5 years old and dumb, exposure to Furby is about as bad as smallpox spores. The gimmick quickly wears off, and then it's a constant gnawing source of aggravation. It's like a device designed specifically to annoy. In that sense, it's sort of brilliant, in the same way a crossbow is a brilliant way to shoot an arrow through someone's neck. Furby actually makes you want to hurt it somehow, if only it had feelings, so that you could punish it for existing. You begin to feel like a wrathful deity, or at least a lousy parent. The Furby was adopted and orphaned by a series of otherwise good-hearted people over the testing period. Yet, unlike a real child, the Furby never grows up. It just bothers you more. It makes you feel worse, and you want to destroy it. But you just can't bring yourself to do it, because you can't find a hammer at the office. And smashing a Furby at work is kind of weird. It might make people talk. Test notes. One friend was thrilled to hear that the new Furby had arrived. She wanted one but had never gotten one as a kid in 1998. She volunteered for 5 days of robot sitting and reported back the following. Day 1, Furby wakes up and is playful and nice, but won't shut up. People at work instantly hate me, so I put him in a drawer. Furby burped and sang in my purse on the train and generally embarrassed me as much as I imagine a real baby would. Oh God, these people better never have children. Day 2, Furby sleeps through the night and all day the next day. I wake him up at 10 to feed him, and he is pissed. His eyes turn into flames whenever I touch him, so as punishment, I feed him until his eyes go all swirly and he barfs repeatedly. I make him go to sleep. Somebody call child services. Day 3, Furby undergoes a change after I pull his tail rapidly about 40 times. His eyes turn into cows, and he says, "I changing," followed by wild vibrations and seizure-inducing eye flashes. When that's done, a new Furby has a new voice. He says, "What's up, Dad?" At this point, I hate Furby, and I throw him on the floor. I can see why some of these people are single. He eventually sings himself to sleep. Oh God, this is so funny. Day 4, I ignore Furby all day. Day 5, I put Furby in a cooler and bring him back. Leave Furby. I hate him. The instructions that we got warned that there is no on-off switch, and we should have read that and never turn it on. Should you buy this? No. Your children will love this more than any other toy they ever owned, but they'd also love smoking sugar cubes out of a crack pipe. Spend the $80 on tickets to a baseball game, or a puzzle, or college tuition, or just give them the cash and see what happens. Okay, and then they go into new 2012, and of course, remember, we had other Furby since then, and I like it because they put their best efforts forward, and they got defeated by a Furby. You have to have a lot of patience, and you have to have the kind of mindset that you can work with toddlers. If you don't, you will fail. You will crash and burn, and Furby will bring you to your knees. I will, of course, reach out and let them know I did this, but I thought you guys might enjoy that. Because I've noticed I don't have an adult's attitude. I've noticed actual adults run screaming from Furby. That's why I find these articles hilarious. Because they run screaming from Furbies. Actual adults, you mention Furby and their eyes go wide and they like start to screech. There doesn't have to be a Furby in the room. They are terrified of them. Okay, if you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. I will reach out and let them know I did this, and I will, of course, give you the link over. If they are unhappy with me having done this, I will take it down. But I had to let you guys hear this, because I just find it hilarious. And you guys know I have a house full of Furbies. If they bothered me, oh, I couldn't live with them. But, oh, I think they're adorable. I think they're crazy cute, and I like how they get up to stuff. I mean, basically, these people are saying they can't stand kids because Furbies act exactly like children. Okay, guys, I'll catch up with you later, but I had to share that with you because it's funny. Okay, guys, see you later. Bye-bye.